Trump dropped a nuclear bomb at the UN, and the mayor he targeted just proved him right in the worst way possible. 6 words in front of 193 world leaders. London has a terrible, terrible mayor. The cameras froze. Diplomats stopped breathing. Sadiq Khan's name, spoken out loud at the United Nations. Not a policy disagreement, a public execution. But forget the drama for a second. Hit that subscribe button, because what happened in the next 72 hours wasn't just political theatre, it was a masterclass in how to destroy your own career. 2:47 p.m. Eastern. Trump's mid-speech at the UN General Assembly. The teleprompter's rolling, but he's not reading anymore. He looks straight into the camera and unloads. I look at London where you have a terrible mayor. Terrible, terrible mayor. The city is not safe. Crime is up. People are leaving. And nobody wants to talk about why. Brazilian delegates start whispering. The French ambassador drops his pen. The German representatives exchange glances. In 45 years of UN history, nobody had seen anything like this. Then Trump does the unthinkable. He pulls out his phone, during a UN speech, and starts reading live crime statistics to every world leader in the room. Knife crime in London, up 15% this year. Violent robberies, up 22%. Tourist safety warnings from 6 different countries. These aren't my numbers. These are official British government numbers. The silence in that room was deafening. Khan's press team found out before Khan did. By 3:15 p.m, every news outlet was calling. By 3:30 p.m, social media was exploding. By 4 p.m, Khan was in his office at City Hall watching the clip on repeat. Here's where it gets interesting. Instead of addressing the statistics, Khan went nuclear on Trump's character. Within 2 hours, a statement calling Trump's remarks racist, divisive, and completely false. He accused Trump of using London as a political football for American audiences. But notice what's missing. He didn't refute a single number, didn't explain the tourism warnings, didn't address why his approval rating just hit 43%, the lowest since he took office. Just attacked Trump's character and hoped people wouldn't check the numbers themselves. Fatal mistake. Because something unprecedented started happening on British social media. Number sign, check the numbers began trending. Not from Trump supporters, not from conservative activists, from ordinary Londoners who decided to verify Trump's claims for themselves. What they found was uncomfortable. Metropolitan Police data showed knife crime had indeed risen 15% year over year. Check the Office for National Statistics confirmed the robbery numbers. Check the tourism warnings were real. Issued by Australia, Canada, Japan and 3 other countries, advising their citizens about safety concerns in central London. Check, check, check. Sarah Mitchell, a 34-year-old nurse from Hackney, posted this on Twitter at 11:47 p.m. I hate that Trump is right about anything, but I checked the Met Police website. The numbers are real. My street alone had 3 muggings this month. When did we stop talking about this? That tweet got 127,000 retweets in 18 hours. By Wednesday morning, British phone-in radio shows were flooded with callers. Not political activists, teachers, shop owners, parents, retirees. All saying variations of the same thing. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Trump. LBC Radio's James O'Brien, known for his fierce criticism of Trump, admitted live on air. I've spent the morning going through these statistics, and I have to say they're largely accurate. The question isn't whether Trump is right about the numbers. The question is why our own mayor isn't talking about them. That's when the British political establishment realised they had a serious problem. By Thursday, 3 major newspapers had run fact checks on Trump's claims. The Times of London published Uncomfortable Truths in Trump's London Attack. The Telegraph titled theirs, The Crime Statistics Khan Doesn't Want to Discuss. Even The Guardian, hardly friendly to Trump, ran a piece titled Beyond the Rhetoric, What Do the Numbers Really Show? All 3 reached similar conclusions. Trump's statistics were substantially accurate, even if his interpretation was politically motivated. But the most damaging development came from an unexpected source. The London Assembly, Khan's own governing body, released their quarterly crime report that same Thursday. The timing was purely coincidental, but the optics were devastating. The report showed that public confidence in London's safety had dropped to its lowest level in a decade. 67% of Londoners now avoid certain areas after dark. Tourist visits to central London were down 8% compared to the previous year. Assembly member Susan Hall, Khan's main political rival, didn't waste the opportunity. These aren't Trump's numbers or Conservative talking points. This is our own data showing that Londoners feel less safe than they have in years. The mayor can attack Trump's personality all he wants, but he can't attack his own government's statistics. Khan's response to his own Assembly's report, he questioned the methodology, suggested the data was being politically weaponised. That's when even his supporters started to worry. David Lammy, Labour MP and Khan ally, privately told colleagues that the mayor was fighting the wrong battle. Instead of defending his record with facts and plans, Khan was getting dragged into a personality contest with Trump. A contest nobody wins. But Khan doubled down. Friday morning, Good Morning Britain, 12 minutes talking about Trump's obsession with him, made jokes about living rent-free in Trump's head, suggested Trump was jealous of London's diversity. What he didn't do, announce new safety initiatives, present counter-statistics, outline any plans to address the concerns raised by his own constituents. The interview backfired spectacularly. By Friday afternoon, Khan out was trending across the UK. The hashtag wasn't started by Conservative activists or Trump supporters. It was started by Emma Thornton, a 35-year-old social worker from Islington and Labour voter. Her tweet read, "Voted for Khan twice. Can't do it again. Too busy fighting Trump to fight crime. We need leadership, not Twitter wars. Khan out." Within 24 hours, that tweet had 340,000 likes and was shared by everyone from construction workers in Croydon to university professors in Camden. The demographic breakdown of the Khan out movement shocked political analysts. It wasn't angry Conservative voters or far-right activists. It was Khan's own base: young professionals, ethnic minorities, working mothers, university graduates living in zones 2 and 3. These were the people who had elected Khan twice. And now they were questioning whether he was the leader London needed. Polling company YouGov released an emergency survey on Saturday showing that 41% of Londoners thought Trump's criticism of Khan was partially or wholly justified. Among Khan's own 2021 voters, that number was still 28%. When more than a quarter of your own supporters think your biggest critic has valid points, you're in serious political trouble. But the most damaging moment came on Sunday's politics shows. Khan appeared on BBC's Sunday Politics and was asked a simple question by presenter Laura Kuntzberg. Setting aside President Trump's personality and politics, are you satisfied with London's current crime trends? Khan's answer lasted 4 minutes and mentioned Trump 11 times. He never answered the actual question. Even sympathetic commentators noticed. Owen Jones, the left-wing columnist and Khan supporter, wrote, "The mayor needs to stop making this about Trump and start making it about Londoners' legitimate safety concerns. Trump won't be president forever, but these crime statistics will follow Khan through the next election." By Monday morning, the story had evolved beyond Trump versus Khan. It became about something much more fundamental: whether British politicians could handle criticism, the impossible just even when it in came from Westminster. sources they disliked.
In a moment that has
The
sent
Conservative
shockwaves
Party,
through every
initially
corner of
cautious
Britain, it was
about
supposed
being
to be
seen
another
to side with
predictable
Trump,
day in the House
began
of
using
Commons.
Khan's
The usual
response as
arguments
evidence of
rehearsed
Labour's
border
speeches,
problems.
targeting not just
If they
politicians,
can't handle tough
but the
questions
very
from
failures of a
Washington,
system
how will they
that had
handle
long
tough
ignored the
decisions
people.
in Westminster?
Farage's
Became their
precision
new
left
attack
no
line.
corner unscathed.
Even more damaging
He
was
turned
the
his
silence
focus
from
to
Khan's
Rachel's
own party
every sentence
leadership.
was a calculated
Keir
blow
Starmer,
to a
the Labour
government
leader,
that after
was
that
erupted
three
was not
times
joyous
in
but
Parliament
vicious
about Trump's a comments.
reflection of the growing
Each time he
unease that the
deflected,
old political
he
evil
wouldn't
that would
defend Khan,
reverberate
but
across
he wouldn't
Westminster
criticise him
and
either.
beyond.
That
As the
silence
shock sent a
the
clear
man who had
message to
built his
political
reputation on
observers.
order, strategy,
Labour
and
leadership
careful
didn't
control
think
Khan's
he had
handling
ignited
of the
a political
situation was
firestorm
defensible.
that neither Labour
By
nor the
Tuesday,
Conservatives
exactly
could
1
cushion.
week after Trump's
The old
original
rules
comments,
of political
the
engagement
conversation
had been
in Britain
obliterated.
had completely shifted. Morning talk shows weren't debating whether Trump was right or wrong. They were debating whether Khan was the right leader for London's challenges. The numbers told the story. Khan's approval rating dropped 7 points in a single week. The Conservative candidate for the next mayoral election saw a 12-point boost in early polling. Most concerning for Labour, their London Assembly polling dropped to its lowest level since 2010. All because a mayor couldn't effectively respond to legitimate criticism, regardless of its source. The old rules
Here's
of
the real
political
tragedy.
engagement had been
Trump
obliterated.
didn't
destroy Sadiq Khan. Khan destroyed himself. Instead of demonstrating strong leadership by addressing the concerns directly, Khan chose political theatre. Instead of showing he could handle pressure, he showed he could dish it out but couldn't take it. Instead of proving Trump wrong, he made Trump look like the adult in the room. That's not just a political misstep. After that
That's a
erupted was not
career-ending
joyous,
disaster
but vicious,
that goes far
a
beyond
reflection of
one
the growing
heated
unease
exchange.
that the old political
So here's
targeting
the
not just
question that will
politicians,
determine the
but the
next
very
London
failures of
mayoral
a
election
system that had long ignored
Will
the
voters
people. Remember Khan's jokes about living rent-free in Trump's head? Or will they remember walking home alone at night, checking crime apps on their phones, wondering why their mayor was more focused on fighting with foreign politicians than fighting for their safety? The answer to that question will determine not just Khan's political future, but whether British politicians learn that in the age of social media, you can't just attack the messenger when the message resonates with your own voters. Now it's your turn. Check the crime statistics yourself. Go to the Metropolitan Police website, look at the numbers, then come back and tell us what you found in the comments. Was Trump right? Was Khan wrong? Or is the truth more complicated? And if you want more stories that go past the headlines to expose what's really going on in politics, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the biggest stories aren't always the loudest ones. Sometimes they're the ones that reveal the most uncomfortable truths.